Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Want to watch this episode? Check it out on my YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/@lanternslive. Welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to Green Lantern. I'm Ralph, and with me is Vactor, which means we are talking about Green Lantern Corps number 16. But before we get to that, this morning I got a message from Will over at Green Lantern's podcast, and he mentioned that a tweet, something's coming up. There's something that has been some sort of footage that has been created for Lanterns, whether it's a new sizzle or a new trailer, and there were thoughts that it might be played at the upfronts.
Ooh.
And so today I was kind of like, all right, like I can't wait to see what happens, but I don't think anything's happened just yet. So there's not really going to be any sort of bonus stuff. I even thought for a second, I was like, you know what I can do? I could probably read that Guy Gardner book today.
Hey.
And then just do 2 shows in one live stream where I didn't read it yet though. But I was like, I wonder if if something comes up during our stream for Green Lantern Corps 16, we can just cover that. And then I'll say, beware my podcast, it's Lanterns Live. Keep rolling. Say, welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to Green Lantern. I'm here with Vactor, and news just dropped that blank. And then I could split those up into 2 videos, and then all of the viewers can just have the super long version of both things. So that could be an option when it comes to breaking Green Lantern news during an episode.
Yeah.
It's just being we're cutting this part of the show into a whole separate chunk as this new part of the show. So
that would be cool.
We'll see. Yeah, there ended up being nothing at the upfronts for WB as far as Will could find. I love the GG book. The GG book.
Guy Gardner.
Trying to think. The Guy Gardner.
Yes.
Duh. Yeah, I think you did as well.
Yes.
Maybe next week. I don't think I have anything planned for next week. I've been trying to get Ring Foundry on the show, but I haven't really gotten every time I ask it, the subject gets changed. So I don't know if they just don't want to do it. That's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's any new footage, I'd love to see the first constructs. That I'm assuming they're going to look similar to Guy's as far as the shade of green and sort of the way they look. Because I think the one picture we got of the power battery a couple weeks back, the green is very, very similar to Guy Gardner's.
That makes sense.
So I want to see these guys wearing suits.
Yes. Yes.
If that suit in the closet is Hal Jordan's suit. Now listen, Kyle Chandler said that's the suit he wears. It doesn't say I don't think he said that's his suit. Anyway, he wears that suit that's in the closet. But is that a powered down suit? Is it a copper that pulls energy from the ring to create energy around him that makes it look different? I don't know. I need anything. I just want to see the suit. I want to see them wearing the suit. Someone did an AI thing or a Photoshop thing where they put that suit on Kyle Chandler from the show. They grabbed a still, and it actually looked kind of good.
Ooh, yeah.
But of course, that's Photoshop. I don't know what it looks like in real life. But hopefully we get something soon. But I'm like on high alert. I'm like on high alert these days. Like it kind of drives me nuts that like I have work in the mornings when news usually drops, and it's like I want to go live immediately when the news drops, and I don't think I'll be home when that happens. But if news drops when I'm home, like boom, I'm on.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
Yeah, and we're like in 3 days we'll be 3 months away from Lanterns.
Oh man.
On a Saturday, I think. Saturday will be May 16th, and we're looking at August 16th. So I can see them putting something out Friday. I was watching Last Week Tonight, and I usually skip the commercial before. This week they had like a commercial for Euphoria, but now it's going to get to the point where that's Lanterns.
Ooh.
So now am I going to have to do like shows every single time they drop a new like commercial like that? I think I will.
This is very similar to like when the teaser was about to be released. I remember you being on high alert. You're like, right. I got the studio ready. I got everything. I can drop anything at a moment's notice, and I can go live. And I was like, yeah, Ralph, yeah.
Well, that was the thing is when there was rumblings about the HBO's going to do their 2026 sizzle slate, and there may not have been 12 seconds of Lanterns that were going to possibly be within that thing. And I remember like hearing like it may happen on this specific day. And so I set up a studio. I did some artwork, and I was like, as soon as it drops, I'm going to go live. I ended up being up at like 5 a.m. or something, and it was already up. So it's just like, I told Stevie, I just pulled my computer monitor away from the bed, and I was just like, all right, I'm going live. So that's what I want. That's what I want to do. So like, I'm just like on pins and needles. Will's my guy when it comes to that sort of stuff. So like, yeah, I'll have people that day. I had people send me stuff like at like 9 a.m. And I was like, yeah, I already covered that like 4 hours ago. like no one's gonna, I don't think anybody's going to sort of scoop Will on that. I don't think. I mean, they have to be pretty on the ball. I don't know how Will gets his stuff so fast. I know he's on Reddit a lot more than I am. And I don't know, he's just in circles. He's in circles, and I know like the DC Reddit. There's a Green Lantern section. There's a lot of stuff going on over there, yeah. But like Will's my dude. Will's my dude when it comes to that info. So I'm like really, I'm like, when I wake up in the morning and I see messages from Will, I get super excited, because it's pretty much like 95% of the time some Green Lantern news or rumor. And that's all I want. That's all I want. If he gets it to me early, and I wake up like I usually get up around, well, my alarm goes off at 6:30. I'm usually up a little bit earlier because I can't sleep. I'll just go into work late. I'll fire up a live stream. I'll go to work late. They don't seem to mind. So yeah. It's just those hours in the morning where I'm at work where there's nothing I can do about it. The day that they announced, they did the teaser saying the teaser trailer's coming out on Friday, and then it got leaked online because WB accidentally put it up for like 45 seconds on YouTube, and everybody saw that, downloaded it, and throwing it everywhere on the internet. And then Will was like, I'm at work, and Will was like, oh, the trailer's everywhere, and like sent me like links, sent me the video, and I'm just like, I was like, I still have like 3 hours left in work, And I'm like, I do not want to watch it. Well, I wanted to watch it, but I didn't want to do it until I can watch it fresh on the show. Right. So, like, if anybody's watching this, anybody has my contact information, just know Will has my back when it comes to sending me stuff. And also he knows, like, not to send, like, any sort of spoilers or anything, because he knows that I want genuine reactions on my show. And I think even that day, I was off my phone. I got sent a power battery image and an image of the... No, I saw the power battery image online when I went to post that I was going live. And then I saw the suit. I saw the suit. So yeah, like, I'm just like trying to be spoiler free, but when, you know, everybody that I know knows I'm a massive Green Lantern fan, a lot of times just stuff gets sent to me. I'm like, I mean, I get it. I'm glad you're thinking of me. You know, I know I'm your Green Lantern friend, but at the same time, like, I really want this show to have, like, genuine reactions. So yeah, I'm like, we're about 3 months away, and so we're going to start getting a lot of stuff. But luckily, like, the show is, like, really have been leak free for the longest time, so I don't think I'll get too spoiled. You know, I don't think if they're playing it really close to the vest when it comes to showing stuff. But I know once they start showing a little bit more, I'm gonna get all the text. So it's a fun time. It's a fun time. The book, Green Lantern Corps. Holy smokes. I'm just going to say it. Like, this might be my favorite issue of Green Lantern Corps yet.
Yeah.
Like of all 16 issues, man, this one really I thought was jam-packed full of stuff, but didn't feel sort of it didn't seem overbloated, it didn't seem rushed, it didn't seem like anything that's been set up before. I feel like feels like this naturally was where they were going. Even with the Guy Gardner, the weird Guy Gardner Allspark or whatever they're calling him, the Allsight. It's like, it felt really, really good to me. What'd you think of Green Lantern Corps 16?
Man, I feel like a broken record because every time a new issue comes out, I'm texting you, I love this book.
Right.
I feel like this one is even better. And not only Morgan Hampton doing an amazing job, but the art on this book in particular, I thought knocked it out of the park. Starting with that cover, like, it immediately sets you up to be like, this is going to be amazing. And it does not disappoint, man. I loved this issue. Fernando
Passarin did the cover. He didn't do the interiors. The interiors are by two different artists. Artists we've seen before. Juan Jose Rip, R-Y-P. Rip? I would say Rip. Yeah. And Will Conrad. Will Conrad... Did Will Conrad... No, I was going to say Will Conrad did Justice League Red, but I might be wrong. I think I'm totally wrong on that. I think I'm completely wrong on that. I don't think he did. But so there, I can pick the two different art styles in this, but only under, like, really close scrutiny. Like, to me, we've mentioned this before, art in the past, when they have different artists, it could be really jarring.
Yes.
Unless it's like someone's doing the A storyline, someone else is doing the B storyline. Right. That's fine. But when they're both doing, like, the same storyline, it could be jarring. It wasn't jarring in this, but I definitely did see two different art styles. But I think I liked them both. I'm just kind of going through right now and looking. Yeah, they're real close.
Yeah.
There's not.
I think if you're not trained, this would look like the same art style throughout. But that's just a compliment to both of them because, man, like I said, this was the entire time I was like on the edge of my seat. What's going to happen next? And there's some stuff that I want to talk to you about with Larfleeze that I think is really interesting.
Okay, go for it. Let's start off. Let's go. Talk about Larfleeze.
Jeff Johns kind of set Larfleeze in motion, and the Avarice and the Orange Core he's so selfish that there is no Orange Lantern Core. It's just him because he can't share anything, right? So for the entire time, the orange has been a thing in Green Lantern, in the spectrum. It's always been that way. This book sets up, and I like I said, Morgan Hampton killing it on the story on this book. He sets up something that there's so many possibilities now for the Orange Core to be not about just one person being selfish, but spreading the selfishness to other people. And so you can have an Orange Core, you can have an Avarice Core. And I was reading that and I was like, oh, go ahead.
I love it. I think that's the thing is Morgan Hampton is doing basically what Jeff Johns did. Jeff Johns took what was out there and filled in some gaps, and some people will call it retcon, but Jeff Johns skates that fine line. We saw Tim Sheridan do that over with Alan Scott's origin story, where he doesn't take away anything or change anything, but he adds stuff into it to make it all work and sort of recontextualize some things that maybe people didn't like Hal Jordan being a bad guy. And Hal Jordan was Parallax, and Jeff Johns was like, well, what is Parallax? And then also, what is this? What is the impurity in the Green Lantern Corps? What if the impurity was Parallax and infected Hal Jordan? So he took things and just recontextualized them to make them sort of new and fresh. Some people would say retcon. I say not.
Yes.
For Morgan Hampton, he saw what the Orange Lanterns were. Now, the thing is, over on, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of the name of Larfleeze's home planet. It's not coming to me now. I want to say it's, I don't remember. But Larfleeze is surrounded by orange rings. Right? And the Orange Lantern Corps, up until this point, has been Larfleeze with a core of constructs with like Glomulus and is a famous one. But just like he basically can't have anybody else have this power, so he creates a core made entirely of constructs. That's what Jeff Johns set up. But he also set up the fact that there are rings everywhere. That the core should be a physical core that, exists like the other core. And so Morgan Hampton saw that and was like, hey, listen, we know Larfleeze, it's basically saying like, a lot of people would think like the Orange Lantern Corps, there can only be one because it's Avarice and that person that has the power battery wants it all for themselves. But that's not the case because why would there be more than one orange ring? So Morgan Hampton is doing that thing where Jeff Johns is like, well, yeah, this is how it works, but he also set this into place so that you can play with it. So for me, I really like what he did there.
Yeah, that is what a good writer does. And like you said, what Jeff Johns, like the emotional spectrum and kind of what we know of Green Lantern today, I think Jeff Johns is the architect, and he took the however many years of history and expanded upon it. That's what good writers do. They come in, add on top of the work, and then make us continue to love these characters. That's why they've existed for so long, is because different writers come in and they put their stamp on it and they add to it, and that just makes the pot that much sweeter. Man, I love when like the lore is expanded upon and the history. So that when I was reading that, I was like, "Oh man, this is great."
But doesn't undo anything that Jeff Johns did.
Yes, yes.
I'm trying to find the name of the planet in here.
Oh, I looked it up.
My
Shipulkuz, which I have no idea how to pronounce that. Shipulkuz.
I have the hardcover for Jeff Johns' Green Lantern Agent Orange, artwork by Philip Tan, and I opened it up and I completely forgot. In 2012, Philip Tan signed my book and drew a glomulus.
Ooh, nice.
That's pretty awesome.
That is nice.
I think that was at WonderCon. I think I got that at WonderCon.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. A friend of mine at work is borrowing a couple of books of mine. He read the Jeff Johns omnibus of Green Lantern Rebirth, which has just like a ton of stories in it. It's a big fat compendium. And so I sent him yesterday a couple of hardcovers that he's going to finish by tomorrow. And then he is now starting the Sinestro Corps War, which I'm very excited for him, because that's like the first that's like Jeff Johns, like, here we go. This is what he was setting up in like the first 20 issues. And then I realized, I said, I'm going to start lending you some of this stuff. And like, I was like, you're going to like get stuff where it's like, I thought it had it in this one, where you're going to start getting stuff with like Jeff Johns' signature in it and stuff. I said, I have a lot of books out there that like Jeff Johns has signed over the years. I'm going to see if I can pull this one down without breaking anything. This is Blackest Night. This is Ivan Reis, the artist on the book. This is my favorite cover, by the way.
Yes, I love that.
Did that? I have I have Jeff Johns. I have Joe Prada. Here's Jeff Johns.
Ooh.
On the cover of Blackest Night Green Lantern.
Man, I love that. Yeah.
But I mean, they're just like, oh, man, these guys are so awesome. I need to get all of them on here at some point. But for me, like, I like, after Jeff Johns left the book, Venditti came on and did basically continue the story, did a great job. He left. Then Jeffrey Thorne came on. Then, why am I blanking on his name? Grant Morrison came on at some point. Like, these other guys came on, and I was never really super into the stuff that they were doing because they were getting real weird. Jeremy Adams and then Morgan Hampton, it feels like they're going back to like what Venditti was doing after he picked up After Johns, which is like, here's what we have. Here are the characters that are at play, and here's some interesting things that we can do with these characters. A lot of the focus of this issue is Aya,
yes,
which is nuts. Seeing Aya as a main character on a cover of an issue of Green Lantern is pretty amazing. Never did I think that would happen. Never. And the way Morgan writes her, I can hear Gray Delisle's voice coming out of the character when I read it.
Yes.
There was the Green Lantern, the animated series comic books, and they didn't nail the characters' voices. When I read it, I didn't hear the characters, except for issue 4 and 8, which I think I've mentioned these before. Those writers understood the show, and when they wrote Aya, felt like Aya. Morgan Hampton must have watched Green Lantern, the animated series, a bunch of times to get the speech patterns, the cadence, or he's talked to like Giancarlo Volpe or Jim Krieg, who is buddies with Jeremy Adams. Or Jeremy Adams, he's probably talked to Jeremy Adams about Aya. But the Aya voice is so... It's written so perfectly. It's written just like the animated series. Same with Razor. Razor has a few lines in this book, and I really, really appreciate the voice of Aya because it sounds pitch perfect to the animated series.
That is something that I love. Whenever you have that, I had that with even like Kevin Conroy with Batman. I feel like no matter what story it was or what, because his voice was just so transcendent, it was like it didn't even matter who the writer was. I just always was hearing Kevin Conroy. Same thing with the Wolverine actor for the X-Men animated show. That was the same. I was like, as a kid, it was like ingrained in my memory.
I'm getting that way with Invincible now.
Ooh, yes.
It took me a little while to get used to some of the character voices, but now, like when I go back and read Invincible, I hear those for sure.
Yeah.
Rick is here. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, like, that is a huge... If you don't write Aya right, we know what she sounds like. If you don't write her right, it sounds off. There was an interesting line in here. I was trying to find it, where the whole issue is basically this Aya storyline. Aya has been taken over by manhunters. Her body has been taken over by manhunters, and they're trying to collect all of the entities to make Aya basically a super being that could power the manhunters. There was a line, but throughout the story, we're getting inner monologue from Guy. And Guy has this crazy imposter syndrome. It's a almost imposter syndrome mixed with like self-doubt, or not even self-doubt. Like he's really trying to pump himself up, saying, I've been through a lot. My father was an alcoholic and beat me. He's just been a replacement Green Lantern. It's like the most heart we've seen of Guy Gardner actually getting his inner monologue and thoughts. But at the same time, he doesn't really understand. Like he doubts his powers when it comes to this all sight. And there was a line in here, and I can't find it, where he talks about how he doesn't have sort of the influential skills of John and Jess. He mentions them two by name, which I thought was really interesting because there's something that's happening lately, and I'm going to share this with you because I brought it up last month. I'm going to bring it up again. The two people that he mentions are now at the very top of every issue. Now, I don't know what Morgan Hampton has in mind with these characters, what he's setting up, but this up here is no accident. And this could just be, hey, we have a new Green Lantern show coming out, and this is your main character. And also, we have an animated series coming out, and this is your main character. So, I don't know if it's just that. I don't know if it's like synergy or what. But the fact that John mentioned those two as being like really, really good influences or people who can influence, I found that very interesting that Guy recognizes those two, which I like.
Yeah, that is like, I feel like some foreshadowing and something. I want more Jessica in the book. Because I feel like she's supposed to be the, like, not like the dispatch, but, you know, the one that all the communications are going through. But I'm just, besides that one adventure she had on Mogo with Joe. I'm blanking on her name. Yeah, with Joe. We haven't really got a really good, like, let's get a really good storyline for her where she's going off and doing something, like there's just a huge adventure that's happening, because I love Jessica, so I want to see some more.
I actually have been thinking of going back and rereading DC Rebirth, Green Lanterns, Jessica and Simon book, because I love that story so much. There is a lack of Jessica in these books. And I really, really would like to invite Sam Humphries on to discuss that book, and nice. I'd love a refresher. It's one of my. It was during that time it was my favorite of the Lanterns books. Was that the Green Lanterns with Jessica and Simon? I thought that Sam Humphries wrote them so well, and it made me a fan of Jessica, where she's like my third favorite Green Lantern, like after Kyle, Hal, and Jessica, because it's such a strong character in those books. And the fact that I see her now on the cover in the little box, the corner box, I'm like ready. I'm ready. Just like I'm ready for more Kyle over on Green Lantern. I'm ready for more Jess here. We do get more of her in here, but again, she's mostly just relegated to overseeing meetings.
Right.
And she is out in the field a little bit. Is she in that last panel? Is she getting sucked into the black hole? She's not. She's not. So maybe they're going to sideline these guys, because for those of you who haven't read it, basically Guy leads a bunch of people into a black hole, and Jessica's not one of them. So I don't know if these guys are going to go away for a little bit, if they're going to come back different, if we're going to get just adventures with them in the black hole, or if we're going to get Jessica trying to figure out what happened to them. But yeah, I want more Jessica. I really want more Jessica. I think, again, a Jeff Johns creation. I know people complain that there's a lot of Green Lanterns out there, but at least, like, if you have an issue with Simon, who I don't think was an issue at all, I'm not sure. I think he's still recovering.
He's actually with her on Oa. They go off. That's the last time you see her is her and Simon together.
Okay.
So it looks like they're gonna team up.
Let's go. Let's go.
And that cliffhanger was amazing. The way that they set that up. If you survive this guy, I'm beating your. I was laughing so hard, and the art, the way that they're getting twisted up into the black hole, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Yeah. So this whole thing was great because, again, Effigy showed up in an earlier issue, and I was like, Effigy's kind of boring, but they knew what they were doing. Morgan Hampton set up because they knew he wanted to do this, and also I feel like Effigy is a person that, like, may or may not be alive. Like, if it was someone of like a bigger stature, then they'd be like, oh, well, they're not going to kill him off, But with Effigy, I'm like, I haven't seen Effigy since like the 90s or the early 2000s. And I don't think it's anybody's favorite. I don't think there's ever an Effigy toy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like he's totally disposable. Mm-hmm. So whether Effigy's alive or not, I'm kind of interested now.
But
that whole thing was nuts.
Yeah, like the sun is gone. Like there is a black hole. Like this is a major event that is going to affect every planet in the solar system. Like every star and every planet around here is going to be affected by this. So this is a major thing.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what Morgan has in store. Like, what is the story of either, like, is there going to be some type of replacement? Is there going to be some type of time thing where we go back and redo? Like, how are we going to get out of this? Like, this is a great cliffhanger of, like, I want to see what happens next. Like, journey to the center of a black hole. Like, what is going to be the conclusion of this?
That last panel where they're like spinning and like warping, like it's not just a twirl effect. Like the art is really, really good.
Yes,
they did a really good job of like just warping these characters to fly in. And so we have Guy, Joe, Larfleeze, Razor, John, and Ellie.
Is it
It's Ellie.
Kelly.
Ellie. Yeah, that's the problem. Both of the kids, they have a similar look, and they're both like one letter away from each other. Ellie and Kelly. This is really. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. So yeah, the sun like they basically supernova effigy with the orange entity is like in a sort of tug of war with these Aya manhunters that have the Butcher, I think, the Red Lantern entity in it. And they're just in this crazy tug of war and basically implode the sun, which is not something to be taken lightly because it's not just some random sun. It's the sun from Oa, and I believe Thanagar. Or Thanagar's the new home for Thanagar, because Thanagar exploded, right, and the egg was inside.
Oh, yes, that's right, yes.
So this is a big deal. I was like, when it exploded, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then I realized, oh wait, no, that's actually Owen's son. And yeah, there's Simon with Jess, Soranik, and not Soranik, who is that? Katma and Salak. And they're just like, would you all see that? The sky, the sun is just gone. So yeah, there's not going to be another animated series. It's going to be My Adventures with Green Lantern, which is in the same universe as the My Adventures with Superman. That's over on like Cartoon Network, which I don't even think is a thing anymore. So it's probably on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But yeah, Darren, if you haven't seen Green Lantern, the animated series, I highly recommend that. It came out in 2011. Around the same time as the movies. It's really good. Yeah, dude, there's so much stuff in this issue. It's just I'm scrolling through pages and it's just jam-packed. We have a major loss in this issue. The Aya who's been taken over by the Manhunters and the Butcher, destroyed. R.I.P. the Interceptor, which I did not care for, seeing it split in like a third in space. Not happy about that. Bum me out, but I feel like that's something that could be rebuilt, so I'm not too sad. What I did find was interesting is that when Guy saw the damage and everybody from inside the ship just floating in space, I found it interesting that the first person that Guy goes to is none other than, I'm trying to share the screen, here we go, is none other than Joe. Now, we've been talking about this for a while. It seems like they're trying to like get these two they're doing something.
Yes.
And I don't know if I brought it up to Morgan Hampton, but I may have asked him about this, and I think he did not give a straightforward answer. But again, I think Morgan Hampton's trying to make this a thing. You think so?
Yes. Love is in the air. This is 100% a love connection. I think there is no doubt in my mind that is the direction that we're going in. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it too. Listen, if Guy, yeah, but I can't help but feel like a failure. Like, that's basically what Guy is struggling with this whole issue.
Yeah.
Like, everything that we're seeing, like all of these sort of thought, speech bubbles, these thought bubbles, almost like have little to do with the story, but we're just constantly just getting these updates from Guy and his inner workings, and he just feels like a failure. It's like he knows everything he's accomplished and everything he's overcome, but he still has imposter syndrome, and I find that really, really interesting. Are we going to start getting a softer side to Guy? Are these two? Is he going to be able to like let someone in? It's all really, really interesting. Will he change his haircut?
And it's so interesting to get the Guy book that we got last week, which is Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, Guy Gardner, because that is more like the classic Guy, the one that you're used to, like that characterization of Guy. And then this week to get Corps, and he has all this self-doubt and not sure of himself. It's very interesting to get that juxtaposition of the two different guys.
No, I haven't read that book. You have. You said it's great, and you want to cover it. I need to read it. I might read it tonight. Does that book set itself up in a specific place and time as far as continuity goes? It's just a random story. It's like the way Justice League Red had Simon just doing stuff, even though he was in two different books. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's
because at first when I was reading, I was like, "Wait a minute, where does this take place?" But yeah, it just seems like there is no time or place anchoring it. But I can't wait till you read it.
Yeah, I read it. I'm just looking at this panel right here, like being able to show sort of the transformation in one panel, where you see the different eyes in different states of morphing. That's really, really good use of space and telling the story very quickly. Because like the rest of the panels here are basically, it's just manhunters and then ones and zeros and then this.
Yeah.
So it's a really good like economy of right. Economical, storytelling. So good.
I just can't.
Dave says at the center of the black hole is Matthew McConaughey.
Murph.
Yeah, I can't. There's a lot of stuff happening. We haven't even talked about the fact that Soranik has decided to sort of be the host for Parallax.
Yes.
And this story is really interesting as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know where it's going, but I like it. Now, let me ask you, because again, sometimes I read these things and I think I'm paying attention, but I may have missed something. So does basically Parallax here goes into fatality? No. Never mind. I was going to say, does the Parallax go into fatality and Soranik? But I'm looking now. This over here is the Indigo. I forget the name of it. The Indigo is going into fatality, and okay. For some reason I thought Parallax went into both of them, and they were sort of splitting the duties so that they wouldn't be overtaken. But no, they are each being taken by these two individual beings. Super glad Soranik's back. My friend who I've lent in the books to, he's just starting the Peter Tomasi, Patrick Gleason run of Green Lantern Corps and like Green Lantern Corps Recharge and stuff, that Jeff Johns era when they were firing on all cylinders. And he's just introduced to Soranik, who becomes like the star of that book. So really excited to see her back. And they seem to be doing okay with the entities in them. They're not like, here, I'll show you this panel here. They're not really like, they seem cool. They seem fine. And I like that their speech bubbles are the different colors.
Color coded. Yeah.
Now, so like, okay, so she has the entity in her.
Yeah. Proselyte?
Yeah. I think that's it. You know what? Can I say something? We've never talked about on this show. Ever. Well, maybe a couple times. But only when it's like, when I struggle with it. Is I never talk about the lettering. And Dave Sharp does the lettering on this book. I think he also does Green Lantern, and I think he's done the lettering for like Green Lantern for like, if I pick up like this book from like 15 years ago, Dave Sharp probably worked on this. I think Dave Sharp's one of those names I've seen forever on Green Lantern. Again, like I never have an issue with the lettering, unless there's something like where it's like, man, the color makes it really hard to read the words. But I was thinking while I was reading this, I'm like, why don't I ask Dave Sharp to be on the show?
Ooh.
I really like that. Like, I don't know anything about lettering. Like, I understand what the penciler does. I understand what the inker does and the writer. But with the lettering, I know that, like, what they do, they're in charge of all the letters that you see on the thing. But I don't know, like, do they get in touch with the artist and say, I need at least this much room for a page? Are they just sort of saddled with, with what they're given art-wise? Like, if you look at this page here, does the artist just know, hey, there's this much dialogue here, I need to give Dave enough room to put it in there? Does the artist like do like sort of a rough draft of how the pages are going to be laid out and hand that to Dave Sharp, and Dave Sharp says, hey, I need a little bit more room in the upper left corner? I don't know any of this stuff. I'm going to reach out to Dave Sharp.
Yeah,
I'm going to do a whole show on lettering because I think it's important. I think when you see a sun explode, what do you see? Or you see effigy get zapped by manhunters and it says zzz, like, does the letterer come up with that, what that would sound like? Does Morgan Hampton write in that stuff? But while reading this book, this issue, I was like, how does that work? It's the one thing in comics I don't know how it works. And I probably should. Look at this.
I think that would be an excellent episode. I've listened to letters on other comic book podcasts before, and it's always interesting to hear their experience, what they're bringing to the table, and then what the writer and everyone else is contributing. My understanding, I'm not a letterer, but I want to say it is kind of a combination where it's not the same every time. It's like I think it depends and it changes based on different artists and different creators that they work with. But I always thought the letterer would be such a cool job because you have such job security. Like you said, I feel like I've seen a lot of the same letters, but then that probably means there's a huge competition because there's not probably a whole lot of spots available. But if you can get in there and you're good, I think your job is pretty set for a while. So I do think that they have a great contribution to the art, and I think that would be a great episode.
Yeah, I'll reach out. I'll reach out for sure. Because like, look at this page. Like, as a letterer, as someone who does a lettering, are you the artist that draws how that speech bubble looks with the flames coming off of it? What is it like to decide, hey, I'm going to cover all of this beautiful art with these giant letters in front of it, you know? Mm-hmm. But it like this whole sequence, like just the lettering, they all have a unique design and are really interesting. Look at this.
Yeah.
That's not something you just do in a computer, right? You have to like draw that.
Yeah.
Even though the O's look very uniform.
Yeah.
So maybe he does do the letters in the computer. I didn't go to college. I was at a little bit of a weird place in my life at that time, and so I didn't go to college. I went directly into work. I did take one college course because I wanted to take a course in some sort of artistic thing. I'm like, if I have to go, which my mom was like, you have to go, but I mean, I don't know why I was listening to her. I ended up going and did one semester for a typography class in which I learned about like fonts and letter and creating an alphabet. And that was, I found it, that immediately made me interested in logos and design. Like, look at this letter, how jagged it is for this explosion. But the very next one, it's this very, like a sans serif, very clean look. And then how do you, like, what do you do? I'm going to have to ask them all this because, like, while you're reading a book, what do you want to see first? Is something too distracting? Where do you want the eye to go? Do you want to make sure that you put the letters and the bubbles in the right places? So, like, over here instead of here. You know what I mean? Like, what is that decision? What is this decision where you want to make sure that people aren't distracted from the image and it has a nice flow?
Right. And even the color. Like, you saw the color changed. Is that the colorist who's deciding that? Is that the letterer who's deciding that? Is it the
editors?
Right. I'm pretty sure it's like it's a collaboration between everybody. Yeah. I think everybody comes together and adds something to it. But that is fantastic. Like I said, I laughed so hard at that last
this thing.
Yes.
I'm beating it the way the words are even being done.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get him on. I'm gonna reach out because I just don't. There's nothing. I don't know anything about. It's the one thing in comics I don't grasp. If someone were to hand me a page and say, "Okay, you're the penciler on this," I know what to do. And same with inker. But when it comes to letters, I would be like, okay, I know what I need to see. But I would feel like I'm not doing this right because I'm distracting. I'm putting too many words in this spot or jamming something in. But yeah, this was like one of the first issues where I was like, you know what? I really am interested in this.
Yeah.
I've seen Dave Sharp for years.
That the same thing that people had, remember the, not Mallrats, the Chasing Amy thing where the letter, you're inker. A tracer. For the inker, you're a tracer. I'm sure lettering is the same type of stigma. Like, oh, it's just you just type the words in a computer and it does everything for you. Like, there's definitely more nuance to it and skill
and artistic flair.
Yes,
like I don't think everybody would do that to the words. Mm-hmm. That the words would even get. Yeah.
Man, that is a great idea, Ralph. Great idea.
All right. That'll be good. I don't have much more to say about the book other than I seriously, I think it's my favorite issue of Green Lantern Corps this run, for sure.
There's just so much that came together on this one. Like I said, the story is like you're hitting this high in the story of like what's going on. It's not like a low point. It's not a lull in the action. The art coming together, everyone's gelling, meshing, and then keeping you on the edge of your seat that you want to know what happens in this next issue. It's like they're just keeping this ball rolling. Like there's just been such great momentum on Green Lantern Corps. I heard you guys talking about the main Green Lantern book, and especially the last issue kind of stalled a little for you.
Yeah.
I think Green Lantern Corps is like, it's hitting every issue, man. Every month it's been great.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time, even during the Jeff Johns run, where like I'd be more excited to read Green Lantern Corps because you get more characters. You got Kyle and Guy and John. Like literally, like Jeff Johns was covering Hal Jordan. So for me, like the Kyle story last month, I didn't think was very strong. And so, like, I was, like, really looking forward to Kyle sort of running that book. But it wasn't super strong. And I know Jeremy Adams is going back to, like, Green Lantern 51, where we got like sort of into Kyle for the first time doing street level stuff. And I know it definitely feels like that, but I'm like ready for Kyle to be like, you know, White Lantern saving the universe kind of stuff. Yeah. So hopefully, you know, that picks up. That'll be in a couple weeks. We'll get more Kyle. But as far as like juggling all these characters that Morgan Hampton's doing, it's great. It's all my favorites. Yes. So just a fantastic book. I'll have to go on Threads or something and just let him know.
Fantastic.
Keep it up. I'm sure he's like 5 issues down the road, but then there's nothing he could do. That train's already left the station. But I'm hoping he understands, like, keep going along these tracks. Keep going in that direction. Doing a terrific job. Yeah. Vactor, where can folks find you when you're not joining me here?
Man, you can find me every micro, well, I should say the opposite. I was going to say microsecond, but every now and then you'll find me on Blue Sky and what are they called? Skeets? Re-skeeting what Ralph posts on Blue Sky. But This Comic Cooks on YouTube, on TikTok, and I'm trying to do obscure characters and storylines, and anytime somebody tells me something interesting about comic books, like when Ralph suggested this fantastic Green Lantern story. I love
the Tomar-Ray. The Tomar-Ray Destruction of Krypton.
Yes. Anytime somebody has like an interesting story or character, just let me know, because I love covering either whether I know them or not. I love covering it both ways.
Yeah.
So, This Comic Cooks.
Yeah. You did the bottler.
Oh yeah,
you did the
right.
bottler.
I forgot.
I mean,
that, yes.
Have you done one on Effigy?
You know, when we first talked about when he appeared in Core, I put him aside and I was like, I should cover him, but I never got around to him. I have a backlog of characters that's like 500 deep right now, but yeah, I never got to Effigy, so I might have to move him up.
He's not really anyone I'm super interested in. But this week changed it. This week I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all we got. Listen, everybody who's watching this, highly recommend you hit the bell icon. First of all, please subscribe. It'll help me out. It makes me feel good. If you want to make me feel good, subscribe. Leave some comments. If you feel like supporting me monetarily, you can do that by joining the Honor Guard. It's 99 cents a month. You get bonus episodes. You get full versions of live streams, and you get member-only streams. You get emojis. You get badges. You get it's just, you get a warm feeling inside, and so do I. And it helps me like keep the show going. Be sure to, but most important, hit the bell icon, because again, we're just about 3 months away from Lanterns, and anytime something happens regarding the show, I will be going live as soon as possible to chat about it, and you're going to want to chat about it with me. So hit the bell icon to be notified when that happens. And thank you again to Vactor for joining me. Thanks to everybody who joined me in the live chat. You're all awesome, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. So until then, I just want to say, beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.